Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dragon Wing Diamonds. I am here today with a WIP in chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about my week. So this week we are working on the Love Bird. Get this out, there we go. Love Bird by Rosie Scribbles and from Diamond Art Club. Thanks. Okay. So, anyways. Brain worked with me. I got distracted. Okay, so Love Bird by Rosie Scribbles and Diamond Art Club. And of course, you're gonna pick up Lab Notebook toys as always. And so, what are we working with today? Sorry, this is like going off to a rough start. So what I'm working with today, we have two pens. So they're both a Butterfly Effect Wearers pens. So this is the Cranberry Sparkle and this is the Pink Lemonade. I figured these would be perfect for it because pink, Valentine's Day, all that fun stuff. And then in my Cranberry Sparkle pen, you will find, well, you can't really see it, but it's there. I'm using this Cotton Candy Clouds from Swartz Design. And I am using Hot Cocoa Scented Glue Dots from Oh Snap Crafters Cafe. And then in my Pink Lemonade pen, I am using this Festive Flamingo Swax from Swartz Designs. And then, of course, my tray, I'm using this pink cat-proof tray. This is just one of their standard colors. They have a listing up all the time of just their basic colors, and this was the pink that's offered. And then I'm using just a regular Diamond Art Club reminder, and then I have a Mermaid Cavern trash minder over here. So, that's everything, right? I'm good. Okay, so let's get started here. There we go. I moved some of my colors around earlier, so I'm probably gonna be a little lost for a few minutes while I figure that out. Okay, so I hope everybody's having a fantastic week. Mine has been pretty busy actually, I'm not gonna lie. I've been very busy. Last week we had the boys with us and everything. Let's see what I talked on Wednesday. I believe I talked about this on Wednesday, but still I'm going to talk about it again probably. Or yeah, I'm going to talk about it again. So we had a moment where Alex's teacher sent an email out being like, hey, a bunch of students in the class did not complete their math and reading summaries last week, and we're like, oh my goodness, no. Because at least with like the math, like we keep the boys up to, like we make sure the boys do their reading and stuff like that, but when it comes to the math, Alex is just, it's been all word of mouth. He's been saying he's been completing it at school, and we've been trusting him, so we haven't been checking, and so we're like, oh gosh, don't tell me like he didn't do it and stuff like that. And so we emailed the teacher back, and she said, no, Alex did do his math homework and turned it in and everything, so all is good here. And we're like, okay, good, phew. Like, I think it was Thursday actually, after that, Alex came home, he was like, yeah, I have to finish a little bit of my math from last week, and Jonesy, come on. He was laying there playing, you walked in his face. Hey, leave him alone, Zero. Come on. No, not you, Jonesy, Zero. These animals. So yeah, he was like, yeah, I didn't quite finish the math homework, but it was like only 2 problems out of multiple pages, so we're like, okay, that's fine. So he just finished it up that night. So yeah. That was one of those moments of, oh crap, don't tell me. It's like, oh no, we're good. Hey! Are you gonna behave now? You gotta leave that kitty alone, okay? So, all was good there. So yeah, Alex ended up finishing that up, and both boys have been finishing books like crazy. Like this week, especially, like, I think both Alex and Drake finished like maybe 2 books this week. So I was pretty impressed with that. Drake is turning into quite the good little reader, and I'm very pleased because Alex hates reading. We're like, yeah, at least we have 1 reader. And then if I can convert Sydney to reading, then we'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. We'll have 2 little readers. So yeah, that was our fun, the homework fun. And then So yeah, not much really happened Thursday. We just kind of had a chill night at home, and you know, boys played their Switches and watched their sister run around and have fun and stuff like that. So all the real stuff happened over the weekend. So on Friday, we had family fun night at the boys' school. Well, it's at the middle school in the school district, but the middle school has this really nice really nice pool because they have like a swim team and all that stuff. So they have a pretty like a decent like I don't think it's Olympic, but it's pretty close. So yeah, they have a nice pool there, and so they did the family fun night for the boys' school in particular, and like family members were allowed to come, and there was like pizza for dinner and some ice cream, and the kids could go swimming, and then they had like other craft stuff, and they had a gym open with basketballs and hula hoops and stuff like that. So we ended up going to that, and then on top of going to that, it was funny. Apparently, Alex and his friend Mason were talking about it at school that day, and Mason's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to that," and so he apparently made plans before he talked to his parents. But it all worked out actually, because his stepmom ended up calling my fiance, and they were like, and she was asking like, well, if I drop him off, can you just tag along with you? Because you know she's like me, she's like us. She's got a toddler at home as well, like same age as Sydney. So it's like, yeah, it's understandable. So we're like, and we actually ended up we happened to have a babysitter that night, so it worked out for us. But we're like, oh yeah, that's no problem. Well, he can tag along with us, and oh my gosh, this kid was the most polite kid I have met out of Alex's friends. Like, he is such a little sweetheart. Remembered his pleases and thank yous, made sure he stuck close to us, and like, even though with all the excitement, because you know, it was like Alex and Drake and their cousins and Mason, and then of course their friend Devin was there, and just like all the craziness, but yeah, he made sure he stuck with us and was polite, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this kid's invited over for a play date. Like, no lie, I'm here for it. So, so yeah, we spent most of the time in the pool. The boys spent like probably a good 45 minutes swimming, and like it's got a pretty significant deep end. It's like a 12-foot deep end. And so, like, they have lifeguards there and everything, and the kids, if they wanted to go into the deep end, they had to pass a little swim test with the lifeguards. And it's like, as long as you can tread for this long and swim across cross and back and stuff like that, then they were good. And so, Alex and Mason both did that, and they were granted access to the deep end. So they were swimming across and jumping off the diving board and having like a blast. And it's just, Alex is such a water bug. You cannot keep him out of the water. So yeah, he had so much fun with that. And then we're like, okay guys, we're gonna come out of the pool because we had to go get food and stuff like that. And you know, immediately after it's like, oh, can we come back? And it's like, I don't think we're gonna have time by the time, like, because it was only like a 2-hour thing. It started at 6 and ended at 8. And so, hey, 0, leave them. 0. So yeah, we spent like until almost 7 in the pool, and they got changed, and then we went and got the food, and by the time we were done with that, it was like only like maybe 20 minutes left. So they just hung out in the gym and like played basketball and stuff like that. And so yeah, we did that, and while we were out having fun like and doing all that stuff, my in-laws stayed with Sydney, so that way we could have the night out. Yeah, it was like on Sunday when we were having dinner over there. Mel, or the boy's mom, yeah, Mel, she had given my fiance the paperwork for the event and stuff like that, and said like, those boys really want to go to this. If he can't take them, I will, and stuff like that. And so we were like looking it over. I'm like, oh yeah, we can handle that. It's not a big deal. And then my mother-in-law like poked her head over my fiance's shoulder and was like, oh, we can babysit. And we're like, okay, cool. Now it works out perfectly. So yeah, they were over here, and they spent, it was pretty easy. By the time they got here, it was basically Sydney's bedtime, so they kind of just did her bedtime routine with her and laid her down. And then we basically told him, like, yeah, we have Zero in his room right now. We can just, like, if you don't want to deal with him, that's fine. Like, because, you know, puppies are a lot of energy. We're like, you can just leave him in the room there. Or if you want to, like, we went through, like, this is how we take him out and stuff like that, you know. So, so yeah, they stayed with babies and we went and had fun. Anyways, so yeah, once kids were at the pool, we got the pizza and ice cream, and they chatted and stuff. And Alex's cousin, Andres. I always struggle to remember which one is the older one and which one's the younger one. But he showed us where his like table was that he sat at for lunch, and like, cause we were just gonna pick a random table. He's like, oh, I sit the one back there, and I'm like, oh, you want to sit at that one? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, we'll lead the way. And so he did. And so we sat at the table that he usually eats lunch at and stuff like that. And you know, it's funny, you're just like talking about like all this stuff, and you know, we're there with the boy's aunt, their mom's sister. So like, I hadn't spent much time. Like, I haven't really spent a lot of time with her sisters. She's got 3 of them. There's one I actually have not met. But like, there's one that I spent a little bit of time with at one of I think it was Drake's birthday party a couple of years ago. And then this one I haven't spent that much time with. Like, we sat near each other at a baseball game, but that was about that. So like, me and her haven't really talked much. So like, we were like able to talk a bit and stuff like that. And then, you know, we're talking about like school districts and stuff like that, and how like the school district has the pool and stuff like that. And I was saying, like, yeah, my school didn't have a pool, my school didn't have a football team, like, we kind of didn't, we're a poor school. Like, it was a poor school. Like, I had less than 100 kids in my graduating class. And, you know, it was just funny because, like, they were, like, I think Andres was talking about, like, oh, I have this many kids in my class. And I'm like, yeah, like, that's probably how many kids are in my entire school. But yeah, it was funny. But it was a good time. We had a lot of fun, and then when the night ended, we walked Mason out to his stepmom's car, and we're like, oh, we want to put together, like, we want to have a play date and stuff like that. And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely, just text me and we'll plan it and stuff, because sounds like they have a similar schedule to what Alex and Drake have, so Mason's always with them on our weeks with him. So I was like, okay, cool, we'll plan, we'll get it planned. Plus, we never really have Alex's friends over. He's always going over to other places for play dates, and at first I was like, yeah, because we have a small house and, you know, we got the baby and stuff, but I think now we're into a decent enough routine where, like, it'll be fun. I think it'll be good. So definitely want to do that more, and, like, especially during the summer and stuff, because, like, we have a pool that we set up during the summer, so I just want him to be able to feel like he can have his friends here as well as going over there. But yeah, that was a fun night. And then, you know, of course, we got home and, like, the kids were out like a light. Like, all that swimming and stuff. I was just like, yeah, you guys are gonna sleep good tonight. And sure enough, they did. So yeah, and then, yeah, after that, I didn't really get much time to diamond paint that night, so the rest of my night was just sitting on the couch watching Big Bang Theory and diamond painting, because I was exhausted too. Like, being out and social takes a lot of energy out of me, and yeah, I was worn out. But yeah, it was fun. I'm glad I went, and I'm glad I was able to watch the boys have such a good time and stuff. I did feel kind of bad for Drake though, because it didn't seem like any of his classmates had gone. Like, he was just swimming around the shallow end of the pool by himself while Alex and all of them were in the deep end and stuff, but he seemed like he enjoyed himself. And then Saturday, my mom was supposed to come over, but unfortunately she caught a cold, so she ended up canceling because she said her throat was scratchy and she was getting sniffly and stuff. And we're like, okay, well, hopefully you feel better, and we'll reschedule again when the boys are back. So we ended up having, like, at first I was like, okay, so we're gonna have company over, and then it's like, nope, we're gonna actually have a quiet day at home now. And then so we're like trying to figure out what to do instead, and then we're like, oh, like, I know the boys haven't gotten a chance to play with the girls, but, you know, playing outside right now is not a good, well, it can't really happen right now because our backyard's a flood. We have a pond in our backyard, and so it's like, and I know their yard is exactly the same, like they have flooding in their backyard as well, so it's like, okay, the place where the kids usually play, they can't right now. So what ended up happening was, like, we planned for them to go next door and stuff like that. We're like, hey, is it okay if the boys, like, come over and play Switch games and stuff like that with the girls? And the neighbor's like, oh yeah, the girls will definitely love that. And they're like, okay, well, just let us know when you're ready, because they're like, oh yeah, we need to straighten the house up. Just like, gives us a good excuse to clean the house. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. And then it ended up turning a bit. So we're like, so at first I was like, okay, just let us know when to send them over and stuff. And then it turned into, well, do they want to come over for pizza? We thought about ordering a pizza, and I was like, and so we're like, oh yeah, the boys will definitely love that. Like, they love pizza and stuff like that. Even though we had it at Family Fun Night, this pizza will be better because it hadn't been sitting out for a bit, and it's fresh. But yeah, so we, so I asked the boys, like, how do you feel about going over there for pizza and stuff like that? And they're like, yeah. So we're like, okay, cool. So they're like, okay, 4:30, send them over. We're like, okay, cool, works perfectly. And so, like, we had to run an errand, so we had to run out to Walmart because on Sunday we went to a birthday party for the twins that were born right before Sydney. So they're the same age, just 3 months apart. So yeah, we went out to get a birthday present for the boys, or for the twins. I made the twin boys, either way. And then Alex and Drake had a couple of $10 gift cards that they hadn't spent from Christmas last year. Whoops. So we're like, okay, we'll grab those and we'll get those spent and stuff. So Drake ended up getting a little Darth Vader plushie, and Alex ended up getting these little, like, mystery figurines in a box. They're like superheroes. He ended up getting, like, a gold Star-Lord, which is like one of the ultra rare ones, and the other one was like Spider-Gwen. So yeah, he got those. And then we got home, and we got home a little bit after 4:30, so I texted the neighbor. I'm like, so we just had to run an errand real quick, but we'll be home. We'll send them over as soon as we get home. And she's like, okay, sounds good. And then on the way home, we also stopped for coffee because I haven't gotten a Dunkin' Donuts coffee since I finished school. When I finished my last in-person class in school. So I haven't had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee since early December. And so we decided to stop and get that. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was so excited because one of our local Dunkin' Donuts still has pumpkin spice. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm drinking pumpkin spice in winter, and this is so exciting. So I got my pumpkin spice latte, and I was very happy with it. And then we got home, the boys went next door, and we just kind of we laid Sydney down for her nap. Or no, she was just up and roaming, never mind. We went so late because of her nap. That's what it was. So yeah, she was up and roaming, doing her thing, and we were just kind of relaxing from the trip because, it's exhausting. Especially when you have a little girl who wants to crawl out of your hands and touch everything in the store. And then she tried getting us to give her the birthday present we got for the twins. We're like, no, it's not yours. That's a little bit. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, that was another busy day, and then of course the boys ended up playing, and then we're like, okay, well, if they're not home by 7:30, we'll call them back at that point. But then I think they ended up coming home at 7. So neighbor ended up sending them back over. It was funny though, because there was a point where my fiance had to take the doggo out, and he comes back in. He's like, I can hear them laughing through the wall. And I was just like, wow, they must be having a great time. He's like, yep, they must be. Because they were just laughing away and having fun. So when they got back, we're like, oh, what'd you guys do? And they're like, oh, we played Mario Kart. And then played a little bit of Floor's Lava and stuff like that. So it sounded like it was a really fun time. And it was good because the boys haven't gotten a chance to play with the girls in quite a bit because of the weather and stuff. So I'm glad they were able to go over there and have fun and go crazy for a little bit. And then, yep, got home. Oh, that's a cat. Okay. We got home and we were just, the boys just relaxed for a little bit, and then, you know, of course it was you're up for bed and all that stuff. And then Sunday, good old Sunday. So Sunday was the day of the twins' birthday party. So we went to this, it's like, it's an indoor playground essentially, like a playground that you'd see at a park or something, but indoors, like a big giant pirate ship that with you can climb up, and there's slides and stuff like that. So, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And there's like pedal bikes, and there was like a section that had like a water table that you could do like fun things on and stuff like that. So, and building blocks, and there's a lot of fun stuff there. And so, bright side is we really didn't have to keep that close an eye on the boys because it was an enclosed area. So as long as we knew where, like what area they were in, we were fine. It wasn't that big either, so it's not like we had to be like on them all the time. So we both were able to focus on Sydney a bit. And so she was having a blast. She was climbing up the pirate ship and climbing back down, and she'd go down some of the slides, and with her dad, of course. Like, you know, we made sure, like, she hasn't really been on a playground before, so we were kind of just like keeping up with her and stuff. But yeah, she was just having a blast and burning all that little baby energy and all that fun stuff. And it's funny too, because like this whole entire place with all these fun things to do, and her favorite thing was this little tiny ramp that she kept running up and down. Like, really? Yeah, this is the most fun part for you? And there was a really funny point where my fiance went to like, they had like this wall with, or like, you know, it's like the sides of the pirate ships with the windows and stuff like that, and portholes. That's what they're called, portholes. Or potholes, or no, portholes. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Anyways, and so my fiance went to the other side of one and like poked his head through. He's like, "Come on, Sydney, come through." And she just like looked at him and then ran around the outside of it, and or through the opening there instead of crawling through. It was really comical. But yeah, it was just fun watching her run around and stuff like that. And then they got called back for like food because once again, more pizza. We had pizza so much this weekend, I just realized. Those poor kids are probably sick of pizza. So, so yeah, we ended up, or yeah, we got called back for pizza and stuff. So that's what, or yeah. And this was a moment that like, I don't know, I felt like I was doing something wrong as a parent because there's like a bunch of kids there that are like either already 2 or we're going to be turning 2 over the next couple months. I think Sydney's birthday was the furthest out of all the kids, but it's like March, April. Well, no, I think there's a May one too, but still, yeah, Sydney's birthday's in April, so so these kids are around the same age as her. All these kids are able to sit around the table and just eat pizza by themselves, and I was sitting there still feeding her, and I'm like, well, this makes me feel like she's a little bit behind. And so I was like getting a little panicky in my own mind that I'm not doing enough for her, because like all the other kids are in daycare, and Sydney's not, of course. Like I stay at home with her and stuff, so I had like a fearful moment there where I was like, oh my god, am I not doing enough for her? Am I not helping her progress and all that stuff? But after some talks with some friends and stuff like that, I feel a lot better. I feel much better about it, and I know she's progressing at her own rate, and I know every kid progresses differently and stuff. It just, watching all these kids like drink out of straws, because that's another thing that she hasn't figured, or she's not quite figured out yet, and I don't know, it was just difficult for me. So I'm just making it, like, we're making it a habit now to work with her with more stuff. So today we let her feed herself. We were trying to teach her how to use her fork and stuff like that, and we're going to be working on our straws and all that, and I just kind of like a little wake-up call there, like, oh, am I not doing enough for my child? Like, but I know I am because she's progressing in other ways. Like, she's very smart, like, very smart. So I just needed to calm myself, but, you know, it was a moment of panic, and I was just feeling bad about it and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm a terrible mother, you know how it goes. I feel like anybody who's got kids have called themselves a terrible mother at one point or another, I feel like. But yeah, so just things that I want to be working on with her a little bit more now, and something we plan on doing, and we already started doing, so it's fine. But yeah, so we got home, we spent the time at the party. It was, once again, it was 2 hours and stuff like that, but, you know, we skipped Sydney's nap time because, like, it started at like 2 and went to 4, and that's usually like the time she's napping, so we're like, okay. So it gets close to 4, and, you know, the father of the twins, he's like, oh, you guys don't have to leave yet. And I'm like, well, we do kind of, though, because Sydney hasn't had a nap yet, and she's getting cranky and all that. And he's like, oh, okay, I understand. So, yeah, we ended up saying our goodbyes, and then drove home in a snowstorm, because, you know, that's how it works. It's, when you have plans, it snows. When you don't have plans, it's beautiful weather. So yeah, we drove home and were able to relax for a little bit, but not long, because Sundays are when the boys go back. So yeah, we just kind of had a lot going there. So yeah, when we got home, we immediately laid Sydney down. I laid down myself because I just, once again, that's 2 days of the weekend that I spent out and socializing and all that stuff, so my battery was so dead. So I was definitely exhausted. So I laid down for a little bit, accidentally fell asleep. I'm gonna take a quick sip of my drink. Okay. So yeah, I ended up laying down and falling asleep and stuff like that. I think I did that before I even changed. Or no, it was after I changed. I was like, I did lay down for a little bit in just my jeans though. Like, I just need to lay down. But yeah, we laid her down, and she fell right to sleep, which was good, because it was like, okay, we have to get her up in like literally half an hour. She's gonna be so mad at us. And so I basically just relaxed, and then my fiance came up. He's like, well, I was gonna get her up now, and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, he went in there and woke her up, and she just was not thrilled. She was just like, no, I want to sleep. Why are you doing this to me? So so we got her up and we tried to let her play, but she was just grumpy. So what ended up happening was just me sitting on the couch with her and snuggling. And then took the boys back to their moms. As per usual on Sundays, and, you know, because of the birthday party, we didn't really, because of the birthday party, we hadn't planned on getting anything to eat, but then I was just like, you know what, I really want some chicken nuggets from McDonald's. I don't know why, I just really wanted them. And so that was my dinner on Sunday. Sometimes you just gotta get that, that comfort food. There we go, that's the word. Gosh, words are escaping me today. Okay. Yeah, so that was Sunday. So a lot happened over the weekend, just a lot of busyness and socializing and stuff, and of course the whole like, yeah, we should probably get these little kids together before their birthday again next year, because that's basically, like, we haven't seen the twins since Sydney's first birthday last year. So yeah, I want to try to get them together a little bit more often, just because, you know, they are around the same age as one another. It'd be great socialization for Sydney, and I just really need to start making sure she is socialized. But yeah, just a crazy weekend. And then yesterday, I'm filming on Tuesday, so yesterday, Monday, I was beat. I was absolutely beat, but it was my morning to sleep in, thankfully, so I did. I really slept. I woke up at 11:30. I was really tired. But, no, it wasn't that. Yeah, so I woke up at 11:30. Okay. And my fiance fiance came up to check on her and see if I was up and stuff like that. And I had just woken up as he was coming upstairs, so worked out. And so, yeah, yesterday was just a really bad day for me. Like, I had a couple of breakdowns yesterday. And just a lot of stress, and it all hit me at once yesterday and just was not okay. And, you know, when you have a bad brain day, just everything's like escalated and everything, and I flipped out on poor Church for no reason, and it was a rough day. But yeah, it was funny for Sydney though. So the day before, on Sunday before we went to the birthday party, I grabbed her her coloring book and her crayons. I sat her up on my lap and just was letting her color for a little bit before we left. And she was having a blast with it. I need 3 of these, so let's pick out of here. So yeah, she was having a blast with it, and then she's just been obsessed with coloring ever since. So before I woke up, we had this little Spider-Man table down in the basement from when the boys were younger. And so that was brought upstairs, and like a little coloring corner was kind of created for her. And she would like go over and like she'll get into the chair herself, and then you have to push her in, of course, because she can't do that part. And then she'd just sit there and color for a couple minutes, and then she'd get down and roam around, and yeah, it was cute. So she was doing that. No, that's the wrong one. This one. Yes, this one. Yeah, a little trick, if you ever have like these symbols that are quite particular to where you see them, always put your container facing the way of your canvas. That way you know you're grabbing the right one. Anyway, so yeah, we kind of I came down and this chair, this little setup was put together for her, and she honestly spent most of her time over there playing and stuff. But she did end up getting her crayons taken away because she walked over to the door and started trying to color on the door. And we told her that was not right. That was not okay. And then today she also had her crayons taken away because she was trying to color the floor. The person she was trying to color a brown floor brown, but still, we don't want to encourage that. So, so yeah, now her new obsession has been coloring, and then also walking around the house with the crayons, which we're trying to curb that part. And she's been getting very angry. Like she's a moody little child. She has been a very moody little child. We're like, oh gosh, here we are, terrible twos already, right? It's either terrible twos or she's just having a major growth spurt because she's been like very tired lately too. I know, granted, part of it is because of the fact that she kind of skipped some naps over the weekend and stuff like that, but yeah, she's been kind of grumpy. So yeah, I got up and, you know, I was downstairs I wasn't down for long, and then, you know, she's getting grumpy and stuff like that, and so Tred's like, oh, well, we should probably lay her down for a nap, and I'm like, well, we should probably just wait until after lunch, because she usually doesn't take a morning nap, so yeah, that was wrong. I made a wrong decision there. She definitely needed to lay down for a nap. I think we made another like 10 minutes, and we're like, okay, I think we're just gonna go lay her down. And then, of course, she ended up sleeping for like 2 hours after that. I'm like, okay, so we're going to have a weird schedule today. Got it. Because she hadn't eaten lunch yet at that point. So it's like, okay, we just laid her down. Because I think what I did at first, I took her upstairs and just laid down with her in our room to see if like just watching TV and relaxing would be enough for her and stuff like that. And then, she started she started like trying to get away from me and stuff, and wanted to like go exploring and all that stuff. And then when I didn't let her, that led to her like smacking me, and I'm like, nope, that's not okay. And so I ended up putting her in her crib, and she just ended up zonking out, and I was like, well, okay, well, I made that decision wrong. Which, you know, with the stresses from the weekend, that hit me harder than it should have, and so I was just like, oh my gosh, once again, the terrible mother feels are back. So I was just like, okay, well, there's that now. And yeah, it was just, my brain was just not nice to me yesterday at all, and I just like, I think I was just like at one point I was just like sitting there, I'm like, I am not a good person, like I'm not fit to be an adult, like, because, you know, I'm struggling with so many things lately. Like, the job hunt is very stressful because like there's so many things I need to put into these applications that I don't quite, like, I don't know what wording I'm supposed to be using and stuff like that, and like it's stressing me out, and I need to, like, I had to ask for help, and my fiance's been so tired, like he's not been able, like, he's just been not able to help out as much and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how to be an adult, like, I don't know, I'm faking it till I make it, basically. But yeah, it was a lot of stress, and of course Sydney wasn't helping, and that just like that carried throughout the day. Just like even after she got up from her nap, she was still grumpy as can be, and yelling and smacking me and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not okay right now. So we did our dinner, and I think it was something that we ended up letting Sydney eat. Oh yeah, we had stir fry for dinner last night, and Sydney ate some of that, and she actually enjoyed it. It was surprising. But yeah, got her done, and actually she went to bed a little bit early yesterday because of her grumpiness. And then of course after she was in bed, I'm just like laying on the couch because I'm like, energy's dead. Like, I have nothing left to give today. Like, I was just done. And so my fiance ended up having to go to the store, and I was like, I still gotta do laundry. Yeah, I had like 2 things I had assigned myself to do yesterday, which was laundry and dishes, but I ended up postponing laundry till today, and I still have to go down and start that load. But I did do dishes while he was at the store. But then he got home, and I was just kind of like laying there, and actually by the time he got home, it was when Laura's live was going, so I had that pulled up and I was watching that. And then he's like being sneaky in the kitchen, and he's like opening something, and I like peek over into the kitchen. I'm like, what you doing in there? He's like, nothing. I'm like, okay. And he's like continue to opening the package and stuff like that. I'm like, what'd you get? He's like, nothing. And then once he finally got the package open, he brought it over to me. He got me a slice of cheesecake from Wegmans with some strawberry on top. I almost started to cry. Because I was like, oh my god, this is so sweet. So I sat there on the couch happily eating my cheesecake while watching Laura's live. And then I was like, okay, now I can start diamond painting and stuff. I actually did spend, that one good thing about yesterday is I did spend a good majority of the day diamond painting. I actually got a lot of this done yesterday. I think this is the third section I'm doing today. So I'm getting a lot done today too. But yeah, it's just, sometimes you just have those bad days, and sometimes they feel crippling, but I mean, it just goes to show if you have a good support system, then you can really do anything. And the fact that he like surprised me with this piece of cheesecake was just the sweetest thing ever, and honestly is exactly what I needed. 100% what I needed. And he's always been very good about trying to do something sweet when I need it, or when I need cheering up. So yeah, and the cheesecake was absolutely delicious. And it was funny too, because Laura was like, "Oh, what is everybody working on?" I'm like, "I'm working on a piece of cheesecake." Let go. Where'd the second one go? 2 of them flew off. I don't know where the other one went. Okay. So yeah, it's just been a struggle with the mental health stuff, but you know, I'm getting there. Okay, and then there was like on Sunday when we got home from the birthday party, we're sitting in the car because basically like we barely ever take our house key anywhere because we got the garage door opener in the car, so we just use that to open the door. So yeah, me and the boys were sitting in the car waiting for Trey to go through the house to unlock the door, so that way we can just go in the front door because the garage is kind of a mess right now. Mostly Diamond Art Club boxes, which makes me laugh every time I throw something out there. Anyways, but yeah, when he was doing that, you know, I was just at a kid's birthday party. I have problems with social anxiety. I have problems with sensory overload and all that stuff. And so Alex is like, "Are you okay, Mackenzie?" I'm like, because I've been like basically silent the whole drive home. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing fine, but just these kind of things wear me out and stuff." And he was like, "Yeah, I was talking to Miss Julian, which is his therapist, and he had like mentioned that we don't tend to go a lot of places when he doesn't go a lot of places when he's here with us." And like he's like, "Yeah, she mentioned that you might have social anxiety." And I'm like, "But I have social anxiety, I have phone anxiety, I have just straight anxiety. Like, yeah, it's something I do have, and it's something I am going to be working on once I can, because unlike him, I don't get free therapy." But yeah, just like it was just one of those moments though of like, man, his therapist diagnosed me without even like really meeting me. So yeah, but it's nice that he's like able to recognize that, and like he knows what it is, so he understands. Like, yeah, I'm trying my best to be better about it, but sometimes the anxiety wins. But I think this year, like, I'm definitely gonna work harder to do more with them. I don't know, like, I feel like I use Sydney as an excuse a lot of the time, like, "Oh, well, she's grumpy, so I can't go. I need to stay home with her." So, like, I kind of use that as an excuse, and I really need to stop doing that. So yeah, that's something I'm working on this year as well, is just working on making sure I'm there and doing things with the boys and stuff, like, yeah. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about the other crazy thing that happened. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. So Saturday, Sydney let us sleep in. And so I'm laying there, we're sitting there, we're laying there sleeping and doing our thing. Yeah, the boys had woken us up because they were talking very loud downstairs, so Trey went down and like told them that they needed to quiet down. And when he came up, he turned our noise machine on because we have those for like the mornings when the boys are here to drown it out. And because like I can't sleep if I'm a very late sleeper when it comes to the kids, especially. So turn the noise machine on, and oh, okay. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that little break. So, yeah. So we have the noise machine on, and we get to sleep in a little bit more, so Sydney didn't actually wake us up until like closer to 10 that morning. But the way she woke us up, oh my goodness. So I'm just laying there, or we're sleeping, and then next thing I know, I hear this little thump, and then she just starts shrieking. And I'm like, "Oh, did it finally happen? Did it finally happen?" Yeah, girl had finally fell out of the crib. Another section done with that. Yeah, so she had managed to climb out of the crib and fell over in the process, and was not very thrilled with the outcome. It's not surprising at all. So, yeah, that was pretty comical, because it's like, okay, well, this is happening. Like, we knew this was gonna happen, just didn't know when. Hey, don't run away. We just didn't know when. But yeah, she finally did it. She finally fell out of her crib and she was not thrilled about it and stuff like that. So we're like, well, she's done it once, so hopefully she learned, or, I mean, I know it's kids, they don't learn. She hasn't done it again yet, but, there we go. Yeah, she hasn't done it again yet, but she has, like, climbed up on the side again, so. 3 there. Trying to see my line here. Bam. Okay. Cool. So yeah, that was a comical thing that happened on Saturday too. Just like we knew it was coming and stuff like that, and so I'm like, I wake up and I look over the monitor and I see her little head moving outside the crib. I'm like, well, she finally did it. And so, like, I went in there and I picked her up and I was calming her because I think she more scared herself than anything because, like, she landed on the carpet floor, so, and it's not that high of a drop. She's fallen off our bed, which is even higher, so, but yeah, she's just, or maybe it's not higher. Well, either way. But yeah, she was upset, so I calmed her down and stuff, and she calmed down pretty quickly and checked her. She didn't have any bumps or bruises or anything like that, so she's good. But yeah, it's finally happened. She finally fell out of the crib. So yeah, we're trying to decide at what point we're going to think about toddler bed for her and stuff like that now, because that's what we're getting to. But basically at this point we're not deciding anything until she does it again, basically. So yeah, that was pretty comical. And then there's really not much to say about today so far, because today's Tuesday. Like, just been my typical day. Got up with her. She's been doing her thing, roaming around and stuff, and then yeah, she's down for a nap right now. She's getting very mad at us when we take the crayons away from her, though. Oh yeah, today we were letting her feed herself. So, we got her some chicken nuggets we got some chicken nuggets for lunch, and so that's what she was eating. We make them in the air fryer and they taste so good. And so she was working on those and basically put the plate up on her high chair there and gave her the fork and kind of showed her the motions of like dipping or getting the chicken nugget, a piece of chicken nugget, like, 'cause we cut them up too, but we get the piece of chicken nugget on the fork and then we dip it in the ketchup and then show her how to put it in her mouth. Girl ended up with a full-on ketchup mustache and beard. But she seems like she's getting the hang of it. The thing that she's not quite grasping yet, though, is you bite down on the food and then you pull the fork out of your mouth. But we are working on it. But yeah, we're just kind of trying to expand her independence just a little bit more each time. So we'll see how it goes. She tends to do like the lazy child thing, and she'll just sit there and let us feed her until she's just one day does it on her own. But we hopefully we can just work with her on that, and then I can get my meal times back and just eat my own food instead of being the last person to eat and eating cold food all the time. So yeah, baby girl's growing up way too fast, I feel like. But at the same time, yeah, it's gonna be kind of nice to have a little bit of freedom back. So yeah, I think that's basically all I have from my week. So what is coming up this week? I honestly have no idea. Well, of course I had to film a month in review for January. Been kind of holding off on doing it because y'all know I diamond paint fast, and I don't know. There might be a chance I can finish this in 2 days. I don't know. I'm not going to try to, but there's a chance it might happen, so I probably won't record that until... No, you'll probably see that come up on Friday then. Because I would have to... Yeah, that'll probably be about the time I'd be recording. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we are. As of right now, I do have 5 finishes for the month. So that is exciting. And I did complete one of my goals for 2024 already, which was finishing my Merida cross-stitch conversion, so that is even more exciting. And then I'm still in the process of kitting up Ariels, both the Ariels, because one of them has like 100 colors in it, so I'm like, it takes a bit. So I've been kind of doing it in waves. I think I have like 32 colors or something like that kit up right now, and the mini is all kit up and ready to go because that one's only 55 colors. But yeah, I'm just gonna be. I still gotta finish kitting up the other one though. But I've been really enjoying working on this kit, so that's kind of been taking my attention lately. So yeah, and then I got my February kits all ready to go. I just need to do like an accessory pick and figure out what accessories I want to do with each kit. So yeah. Yep, so this week I would imagine Friday's gonna be the month in review, and then Monday might be like an unboxing or something. I have decided I am going to eliminate post reviews, and I will be giving those kind of in my month in reviews instead, just because those videos just don't do very well and it doesn't seem like people enjoy them as much as others. So I'll just like, as I'm talking about the kit that I worked on in the month, I'll just kind of like give a little blip into like my thoughts on it and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's what the future of the channel looks like. I want to focus on other videos rather than post reviews, and besides, I don't really enjoy filming them anyways. I'm not gonna lie. It's always a chore, and things just kind of sit and wait until I'm like, ugh, I have to do this. I have to get this upstairs now, so I have to do this. So yeah, gotta think about. Definitely want to keep thinking about more videos to bring and stuff like that. Small shop hauls are going to be a little scarce right now. Hopefully until like March. I know in March I do want to do something. I might have a small shop spotlight coming. Although I could do a little mini haul because I do have got two things coming tomorrow. I have one of the Bijou Bliss Valentine's Day trays, and I have a Zox bracelet. So I might just do a little small shop haul with that. Oh my god, yeah, that Bijou Bliss tray. That I have to film an opening of that because I have a very funny story to tell with that one about how a Mega Block almost killed me when I was trying to make that tray purchase. So yeah, that'll be a fun story. But yeah, after that, I think small shop hauls are probably going to be a little scarce until I got some income coming my way. We won't talk about the Diamond Art Club Dragon drop yesterday either, because that one was a rough one for me too. that might have been part of why my mood was so down too. Was like I was missing out again. Anyways, I'm just rambling now. So yeah, we can look forward to month in review for January, which will have at least 5 kits, possibly 6, depending on how fast the rest of this one goes. And yeah, excited today and tomorrow. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, so we'll plan that, and then Monday might be some sort of unboxing, I would guess. I don't think I posted the unboxing for this kit yet, so it'll probably be that, honestly. But I gotta poke through and put together my schedule of videos and stuff. Especially now that I have access to my whiteboard calendar again. Double reason why moving the setup was a good idea. Okay, so I think that is all I have for this one. So yeah, thanks guys for sitting and listening. As always, I do enjoy spending this time with you. And if you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and throw me a comment. Let me know how you guys are doing. How was your week? And if you made it to the end of the video, please comment with a heart emoji for the lovebird. Any color heart, really. And if you're not already subscribed here and you spent all this time listening to me ramble about my life. I think you'll like it here. So go ahead and hit that little subscribe button down there. And then hit that bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. Generally, WIP and chats go up on Wednesdays with things like small shop hauls, post reviews, and unboxing. Oh, I guess I gotta change that now. Either way. Unboxings, those are more random, so you definitely want to hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.